Welcome to Timeless Wisdom for Seniors. Today we're diving deep into a topic that hits close to home for many of us, tea. Have you ever stopped to wonder if your favorite tea might actually be doing more harm than good, especially to your brain? Tea is often one of the most comforting habits we hold on to, especially as we age. That gentle warmth in the morning, that soothing calm in the evening. It's a ritual that feels healing, safe and familiar. But not all teas are as innocent as they seem. In fact, some of the most common teas, the ones sitting right there on grocery store shelves or tucked neatly in your kitchen drawer, might actually be silently sabotaging your brain health. Let's uncover the truth about these deceptive drinks and learn how to protect our most vital organ, the brain. Let's talk about detox teas. These often boast fancy names and promise to cleanse your body from toxins. Sounds great, right? But here's the catch. Our bodies already have a highly efficient detox system, our liver and kidneys. These teas often contain ingredients like senna and other harsh laxatives that can mess with your gut health. See, your gut and your brain are in constant communication. What affects one affects the other. Irritating your gut with these laxatives can actually lead to brain fog and make it harder to think clearly. Plus, many detox teas are loaded with caffeine. Now, I'm not saying all caffeine is bad, but overdoing it, especially later in the day, can disrupt your sleep. And you know what happens when you don't sleep well. Brain fog, fatigue, and trouble concentrating. Not exactly the recipe for a sharp mind. The worst part, these teas often promote dehydration, especially if you're relying on them for a major cleanse. Dehydration can lead to headaches, dizziness, and even confusion, all things that can cloud your thinking and make it harder to focus. So instead of falling for these detox teas, stick to what we know works. Drinking plenty of water, eating a balanced diet, and getting enough sleep. Your brain will thank you for it. Now let's talk about licorice root tea. It's been used for centuries in traditional medicine, and for good reason. It has some potential benefits. But here's the thing, moderation is key. Licorice root contains a compound called glycyrrhizin, which can be problematic in high amounts. Glycyrrhizin can mess with your electrolyte balance, particularly sodium and potassium. This imbalance can lead to high blood pressure, which is a major risk factor for stroke and cognitive decline. Think of your blood vessels as highways leading to your brain. High blood pressure puts extra stress on those highways, damaging them over time. This damage can reduce blood flow to your brain, depriving it of the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function properly. The result? You guessed it, brain fog, memory problems, and even an increased risk of more serious cognitive issues down the line. And nobody wants that. So, what's the takeaway here? Enjoy licorice root tea in moderation. Don't go overboard. And if you have any pre-existing health conditions, especially high blood pressure, talk to your doctor before adding licorice root tea to your routine. Black tea, it's a classic, right? That robust flavor, that comforting aroma. But even this beloved beverage has a potential dark side when it comes to brain health, especially if you're consuming it in excess. One of the main culprits here is caffeine. Yes, black tea contains less caffeine than coffee, but it's still enough to interfere with your sleep, especially if you're sensitive to caffeine or drinking it close to bedtime. And we've already talked about the brain-draining effects of poor sleep. Another issue with black tea is its tannin content. Tannins are naturally occurring compounds that can interfere with the absorption of iron, a mineral that's crucial for brain function. Iron helps carry oxygen to the brain, and when your brain doesn't get enough oxygen, you can experience fatigue, brain fog, and difficulty concentrating. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up black tea entirely, just be mindful of how much you're drinking and when you're drinking it. Avoid it close to bedtime and make sure you're getting enough iron from other food sources. Remember, it's all about balance. Enjoy your black tea, but don't let it hijack your sleep or steal your iron. Herbal teas, they sound so pure, so natural, right? And while many herbal teas are indeed beneficial, there's a hidden danger lurking in some of those fruity, enticing flavors. Artificial sweeteners. These sweeteners, often found in flavored herbal teas marketed as sugar-free or diet, might seem like a harmless way to satisfy your sweet tooth. But emerging research suggests they could be messing with your brain in ways we're only beginning to understand. Here's the thing. Artificial sweeteners are incredibly potent, hundreds to thousands of times sweeter than sugar. This intense sweetness can confuse your brain's reward system, leading to increased cravings for sweet foods and potentially contributing to weight gain and metabolic issues. But it gets worse. Studies have linked artificial sweeteners to changes in the gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria that live in your gut and play a crucial role in your overall health, including brain health. These changes in gut bacteria have been associated with an increased risk of cognitive decline and dementia. So, next time you're reaching for a flavored herbal tea, check the label carefully. Opt for naturally sweetened options or enjoy the pure, unadulterated flavors of herbal teas without any sweeteners. Let's be honest, those bottled iced teas can be tempting, especially on a hot day. They're convenient, they come in a variety of flavors, and they seem like a healthier alternative to soda. But don't be fooled, many bottled iced teas are loaded with sugar, and that's bad news for your brain. We all know sugar isn't the best for our waistlines, but it's also terrible for our brains. Excess sugar consumption has been linked to inflammation throughout the body, including the brain. This inflammation can damage brain cells and impair cognitive function. What's more, too much sugar can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where your body becomes less responsive to insulin, the hormone that regulates blood sugar levels. Insulin resistance is a major risk factor for type 2 diabetes, which has been linked to an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. So what's the bottom line? Limit your intake of bottled iced teas, especially those with added sugar. If you're craving a refreshing iced tea, brew your own at home using unsweetened tea and natural sweeteners like stevia or a touch of honey. Thank you for joining us today. If this video helped you rethink your tea habits or brought you a new insight, please share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what changes you're making and how they're helping you feel better. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend who might need this information too. Your support helps us continue bringing trusted, empowering guidance for thriving in your later years. Here's to better sips and a brighter, clearer mind.